So what's the real goal of education? Is it just about packing our heads with knowledge, or is there something more? Today, we're going to explore an educational philosophy that has a very specific answer. The idea is that knowledge without a moral compass, well, that can actually be pretty dangerous. But when it's guided the right way, it can lead to what they call life and peace.
I mean, it's a question we've all probably asked ourselves at some point, right? You see these brilliant, highly educated people in every field, but you also see them making choices that are just destructive. You see brokenness and a real lack of peace. So what gives? What is the point of all that knowledge if it doesn't lead to a better life? That question, right there, is the entire foundation for the approach we're breaking down today.
Okay, so instead of just talking theory, let's look at a real-world example of how this works. We're actually going to walk through a specific 6th grade English lesson that tries to do more than just teach reading and writing. Its main goal is to build character. Now, at first glance, this looks pretty standard. Step 1, pick a book. Step 2, log your reading time. Simple enough. But the difference is really in the details. Look at the choices for reading. It's not just any book. It's Bible stories, Christian fiction, or novels specifically chosen for their values. Then, in Step 3, the writing prompts aren't just about plot. They're asking students to think about the meaning, about lessons in character, and even about God. The whole point is to make that reading personal.
And it's not just about the books you pick. The lesson goes a step further and directly brings Scripture into the mix, not just as something to study, but as a tool for personal guidance. At the heart of the lesson is a verse of the day, and in this case, it's Psalm 119:105. The verse isn't there just to be memorized. It's the central theme for the day. It frames Scripture as a practical guide, a lamp that's actually meant to light up a student's path.
And here's where the rubber really meets the road. The questions aren't theoretical at all. They're asking students to apply that lamp idea to their own lives. How could this help you in school, with your friends? The goal is to take Scripture from being this abstract idea and turn it into a practical guide for how they act and what they decide every single day.
So we've seen what the lesson looks like, academics and faith all woven together, but why is this so important to them? This gets us to the core philosophy, the big idea behind this whole educational model.
So what's driving all this? It's this one core belief. Education without morality will hurt. This idea is a direct answer to that problem we started with. The argument is when you separate knowledge from a moral, spiritual foundation, what they call God's Spirit, that knowledge can be used for destruction just as easily as it can be for good.
This whole philosophy really boils down to two different paths for the mind. On one side, you've got what it calls the carnally minded approach. That's knowledge without any spiritual foundation. And the result, it argues, is death. Not necessarily physical, but spiritual emptiness, chaos. Then on the other side, you have the spiritually minded path, which is all about aligning knowledge with God's Spirit. And the result of that? Well, that's life and peace.
And this is the verse that anchors that entire idea, Romans 8:6. It's a really stark contrast, right? It lays out a clear choice and a clear promise. This isn't just a nice thought, it's presented as a fundamental truth about how we're designed to work. A mind focused on God brings life and peace. A mind that isn't, doesn't.
This isn't just about one lesson in one classroom. It's actually part of a much bigger vision to reshape education from the very beginning, with this whole principle of life and peace right at the center of it all.
The goal here is huge. They're looking to create a complete educational path, starting in preschool and going all the way up through 12th grade. This Godly Learner series wants to weave these values into every single subject. The vision is pretty clear, to raise up a generation of students who don't just have a bunch of knowledge, but who have the wisdom and character to actually use it for good, to build lives, families, and even societies that are grounded in integrity and peace.
And that really brings us to the main takeaway. The question this model is asking isn't just what are our kids learning, but who are they becoming? It suggests that intentionally grounding education in a moral framework isn't just about making smarter students. It's about building a future grounded in life and peace. So it really makes you think, doesn't it? What is the ultimate purpose of education and what role should morality play in it?